All right. Let's move on to our next speaker. And I have personally had a relationship with this speaker for over 6 years. She's my sister, she's my friend, a lot of things. So her name is
Rutagengwa Sugira Lorie.
with a speech, See Good in People.
Close your eyes. Imagine walking in the streets, and suddenly a guy steals your phone. Pretty bad, huh? Now imagine catching the thief. What would you do? I too had imagined that, but actually he had really stolen my phone. So after the incident, I went home, sad, with a gloomy face. I remember hearing this man preaching. See the light in others and treat them as if that's all you see. Psst, what? As if that's all I could think about. How can you see the light in somebody that just robbed you? The next day, a friend of mine lent me this book about Mandela's biography. I remember reaching on this passage which said, back in the days when Mandela was in prison and John Vorster, the sympathizing president of South Africa, John had tried to hang Mandela. But later when Mandela was asked what he thought about him, he said, he was a very decent man. In the first place, he was very polite, and when referring to us, he used courteous terminology. Now tell me, a man is about to take your life, and you still see good in him? Surely, normal people would call that naivety. I myself before called that stupidity. Mandela called it virtuous, and the me you see before you right now calls it brightness. Satisfaction and happiness is not what people are to you, is not what they behave like, is what you choose to see in them. I remember there was this day I was going home back from school. I met this old man in a suit. He was tall, lean, brown. He was old, maybe in his mid-50s. He stopped me and said in a rich silvery voice, "Excuse me, young lady." I turned and said, "Yes." And then he said, "Can you help me with something?" I asked him what it was. He suddenly said in a weak, exasperated voice, "There's this man nearby who has my money. And as you see, I'm an old man and I'm really exhausted. I had a hectic day. Can you please bring it for me?" He was an old man who was really tired. I felt I had to help. So I said yes, that I would do it. But then he stopped me again and said, "But I don't want to impose this day." I said, No, tell me. And then he said, "Can you please leave a guarantee in case?" I didn't even let him finish. I took off my brand new bag, which contained my laptop, and gave it to him. Then I took off enthusiastically. Arriving there, no man was waiting for me. And when I came back, guess what? The old man was gone. I stood there waiting for him to come back miraculously, but he didn't. I had to go home, but I was scared. What will I tell to my mom? So I went home, and then my room was the next room after the living room. So I had to pass through the living room to get to my room. And when I arrived in the living room, my mom was sitting there. It couldn't get any worse. My dad, my aunts, my sisters. I don't know if it was a family reunion or what. So I just continued hoping nobody would notice me. But then she called me. "Larry." "Yes," I turtled. And then she said, "You didn't greet us." I came in the room and greeted everybody. Then I turned back to go back to my room. And then she called me again. "Larry." "Yes." "Where's your bag?" I had to tell where my bag was. I thought about lying, but when I looked at her, she had that intense, mom-looking face. And I didn't know what to say. I just narrated the whole story. After saying it, she was sitting. She stood up, put her arms on her waist, and said, "Are you that naive?" I couldn't look at her. I looked down. The others were like, "She's stupid, I told you." And then when I looked back at her, she was about to say something, but then she let herself fall on the couch, exasperated. I turned back and went back to my room, humiliated. I sat down and asked myself, am I really stupid to see the good in people? Seeing the good in people is taking a risk. You see, we tend to think of a risk as a physical daring, like attempting a dangerous climb, or putting our money into an investment that's not sure to earn. But I believe in and take emotional risks, said Mandela. I too believe in taking emotional risks. After being scammed, I assured myself to never trust anybody else that easily. But then I remember one day somebody told me, not all risks we take succeed. Some don't, but you continue giving it a try. I have to seek the goodness in people because I believe no man was born purely good, yes, but no man was born purely evil either. People are better humans than they behave. People are not inhuman. Inhumanity has been put upon them. It has been imposed to them. People behave like beasts because behind such a behavior there are motives, because there are rewards behind such a behavior, or simply because they've got no other choice left. When we meet somebody for the first time, we are really enthusiastic to talk to them, to interact with them. But later, when we find out that those people are unpleasant people, we tend to back off. Let me tell you a story. I have this friend of mine, she's called Pamela. Pamela extremely loves chocolate. So there was this day we were at home, and Pamela saw a chocolate on the table. She rushed to the table and took the chocolate. She opened it. She didn't care if it had nuts in it, if it was a milky chocolate, if it was a black chocolate. But when I turned to look at her, she was biting it, and I saw she was deceived. I asked her, "Dude, why are you deceived?" She was like, "It's a black chocolate." And I was like, "So?" She said, "I don't like black chocolate." And why are you eating it then? She didn't answer me. She continued eating it. After she was done, she turned back to me and said, "Larry, it's still chocolate." I didn't get it before, but then it hit me suddenly. No matter the bitterness or the sourness of the chocolate, she was trying to dig out the sweetness of the chocolate, because we all normally know that chocolate is sweet. We should try to seek the goodness in people because people are sweet, no matter the flaws, with the simple fact that they're humans like us and that we have the duty to love them. If you expect more of people, then trust me, they will tend to contribute more or feel guilty if they do not. It's good to assume that others are men of integrity and honor because it attracts integrity and honor towards us. I believe, and yes, I believe, I stand on it. If we try to see the good in people, it would improve their chances to reveal their better selves. But deep down, to reveal our better selves too. Thank you.